Hello there, and welcome back to the channel. I am continuing Star Wars Visions. This is Season 1, Episode 6, titled T0-B1, or T0-B1. Interesting title. I think it refers to a character or a droid or something. And I'm really enjoying this journey so far through all of these very different episodes. I really enjoyed the last one, the Ninth Jedi. I think that's definitely up there for me as one of my favorite episodes, together with the first one, the duel. And now we're getting into like shorter episode territory again. We just had a bunch of episodes that were a bit longer, at least, the length of what you usually can expect from animated series, around those between 20-25 minutes ish. But this one is going to be a bit shorter again. But I'm sure there's still going to be some stuff to talk about, how it relates to what's going on in the Star Wars galaxy for reals, like in canon, and what they're inspired by. And the animation style, I'm sure I'm going to have a lot to say about that, how it's really good. It looks really good. Again, that's something I always mention. I'm always really focusing or taken aback by how distinct like the visual styles can be. But let's jump into this one, and you can of course always check out our full-length reactions where you can sync up the footage with your own copy of the episode. We also have early reactions at the moment for Attack on Titan, where we are several episodes ahead. It's all over on Patreon, and the link is down in the description below. And here we go.
Okay, all done.
Oh.
T0-B1.
T0-B1. Once again, very different look.
Good morning.
Next up is CO3. Would you go get him, please?
Look almost Disney-like, in a sense. We on Tatooine. We're twin sons. Is that like the story of Star Wars on the walls?
Professor Mitaka, how long are we going to keep working on this?
Until there are clouds in the sky and there is green on the land. We can stop only when there is life on this planet, and we are going to make this a beautiful place.
They are terraforming?
The galaxy is
Terrifying and full of danger.
right. So you do know.
It's only dangerous because the Jedi are needed.
Actually, sort of sounds like Aang. Last Airbender.
T0-B1.
Snap out of it.
You were imagining being a Jedi again, weren't you? Adventure, excitement. I am afraid that being a Jedi is not as glamorous as it is in your dreams.
Adventure. Excitement.
Then you must find yourself a kyber crystal.
Um,
There is one somewhere on this planet.
again with the kyber crystals.
I've heard young Padawans, the apprentices of Jedi Knights, must search for their crystal first. So if you really want to be a Jedi, you will need to find a kyber crystal of your own.
Also, if you are technically a droid, then having the Force. But I'm sure those rules doesn't necessarily apply to this story. You're gonna have a hard time finding a kyber crystal on whatever planet you're on.
Clear your mind. And use the Force.
The Force?
Yes, the Force is what gives a Jedi their power.
So, where do I find the Force then?
Everywhere. The Force is present in all things.
All around you.
Never go into the basement.
He's also wearing sort of like Jedi robes.
You've got a bad feeling about this?
Hey!
A ship? This is a call to all Jedi. If you can hear me, report in.
Pretty sure that's a T-16?
Sir, we picked up a suspicious signal.
Oh no.
It could be a survivor, sir. Jedi.
Inquisitor! Okay, so during early-ish days of the Empire, perhaps. Well, he's got the Force.
Professor Mitaka, you're a Jedi?
an inquisitorship.
I am one with the Force. The Force is with me.
Professor Mitaka?
I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. What if there's a kyber crystal inside of him? Like if he was made like with an actual kyber crystal inside of him.
What happened
Oh
to everyone?
no! They completely destroyed the place.
No!
Aw. Who buried him though?
I'm gonna do it. I'll continue the research. I'll fulfill the professor's dream. Okay, here we go. Clouds? How did that happen?
Hey!
Could this be life? Look, it's raining!
You've created life!
Use the Force.
Oh shit.
A Jedi? I don't think so. But who is it?
So, there is another Jedi on this planet.
Bam. With no training, what can you do?
By the will of the Force. Toby, rise. As a true Jedi.
And he became a real person. Come on, Toby! Pretty cool choreography, actually.
Open the valve!
Open the what? The valve. Yeah, okay. Shit.
My name is Toby, and I'm a Jedi!
Hey, those droids are helping out. Oh no. Nice. Upgrade. You did it.
We will continue our research and the professor's legacy of helping planets, because that's what Jedi do.
Yes. Go be a Jedi and help the galaxy. Sweet. Okay. Well, I enjoyed that more than I thought I was going to be. Just judging like from the first 2 minutes, I thought we were getting into more of a kid-friendly thing, but it still certainly had kid-friendly elements, but it also got quite real and emotional. I like that. But that was episode 6, T0-B1, or Toby, as we found out in the end, as he sort of became like a real person, or at least became a Jedi in a sense, and it seems like he did have the Force connection to the Force, as all living beings do, that connection to his master, who we found out was a Jedi as well. And as I also just mentioned, I really thought we were getting into something else here, and it was going to be more of a light-hearted story, and there were a lot of light-hearted elements, and the sound effects and the visuals also supported that. But we also got like some real serious stuff going on, like death, man. Like his master there, the professor, he died protecting him, and protecting sort of his legacy and what he was trying to create, with bringing life to this planet. And it's a through line, I think, through like all of these Visions episodes so far. Like they are very much focusing on what it means to be a Jedi, a good person who can help people and save the galaxy. And there's a big focus on having a lightsaber as well, as you know, that is kind of what we see a lightsaber and we think Jedi and the Force. Like those things are just connected for us when we are watching these things. And that is also a through line through Star Wars in general, is what it means to fight evil and what it means to grow up and become a good person. That is what it all symbolizes. That is what George, those are the stories that George has been telling us from the very beginning. And that is why you will hear how, well, Star Wars is technically made for kids, or kids who are growing up into adolescence and becoming adults and going out in the world. This classic, fight between good and evil and what it means to be good. They got a lot of that in here, and very much focused on this sort of person who at first glance you would not think of T0-B1 or Toby being a Jedi or someone who can become a Jedi. But I think that's where the anime thing comes in a lot, because that's at least something I've seen as a through line through a lot of anime stuff, is the unlikely hero. And then we get that coupled with the hero's journey that we see inside of Star Wars and Jedi, and what it means to be a good person. And then just makes for good storytelling. And something that we can learn something from, we can get some hope out of, even though we get these moments of like loss and emotional gravitas that will still pop up in the stories. It's all very well told, and again I'm gonna use these words, it's very well made. The graphics inside of this one, or the visuals, weren't necessarily like my favorites out of all of them, but it was still unique, and it supported like the uniqueness and the originality of this story again. So it just fits very, very well. And then, as I always do, try to sort of connect it into canon in some way. What if it was part of canon, then this would be taking place, it seems like, after Order 66, and we still have, of course, like the Empire is becoming stronger and stronger and spreading throughout the galaxy. They have these inquisitors who are actually I almost can't talk, who are actively looking for surviving Jedi and then wiping them out before they become a threat. And that's what that Inquisitor dude was doing there, even though he didn't have the spinny Inquisitor blade that we've seen so many times, and he almost had more of a Vader look about him. But that's also just a general thing about the Inquisitors, is they sort of have that look just like Vader. But Toby was able to defeat him in the end with the help of the droids around him, and he was also able to finish his master's work, or the professor's work, and sort of terraform this planet. It started raining and we saw plants growing, and then he hopped on board his T-16 looking spaceship, and he's gonna go out and help in the galaxy and do this to other planets who need terraforming or need this more life. That's all really beautiful story. I'm gonna take a quick look at the voice casts here again, as I sort of usually do. And Toby himself, that was Jaden Waldman, who's a young boy and sounded sort of like Aang, but I of course knew it couldn't be that same voice actor because he's older now and doesn't sound the same necessarily anymore, I'm pretty sure. And then we have Kyle Chandler voicing Mitaka. So yeah, that would be I just couldn't remember his name. So that's of course the professor or the master, Kyle Chandler. The voice did sound familiar as well. Neil Kaplan is the Inquisitor, and then we had a single Stormtrooper as well. So not a big voice cast in this one, because there weren't a lot of characters, and it was a shorter story, but still, even though it is short, it can still be a very good, well-told story. And I think it was. Again, not one of my favorite episodes. That's still like the fifth and the first one, I think. But to me, like, none of them have been like bad. It's not that I haven't enjoyed any of them. Like some of them can be a bit more like maybe just not my taste, or can be just a little bit too kid friendly or cringy in some ways. And I'm not a big fan of musicals normally, but I was still enjoying like the second episode, for example, more than I thought I was going to. And in general, I am enjoying all of this more than I thought I was going to. But it is Star Wars, and Star Wars just always gets me. And when they got those good messages and in there, and stories where we can see ourselves in them and just see this classical good and evil thing back and forth, that is Star Wars to me. And they that is, it's getting through the screen and through these episodes. So far so good. But what did you guys think about this one? Let me know down in the comments below. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. And that's gonna do it for this reaction and review of Star Wars Visions Season 1 Episode 6, T0-B1 or T0-B. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I'll see you very soon. May the Force be with you always.